Welcome to another installment of Magic After Dark. We are joined by our co-host Nekusar. Nekusar, how you doing, man? You doing all right? Hey, it's Christmas time. I heard you were getting together a naughty or nice list. I hope I'm on the nice list. Wait, what did you say? You want to see the world burn one card draw at a time? Well, you know what? Me too, buddy. Let's do this. Welcome to Magic After Dark. We have Zacama on the show tonight. Trying to sell people to go visit Zacama Park, which, yeah, you get to see that dinosaur. Why not? As far as our opening hand goes, we have Temple of Malice and Sulphur Falls and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think I kind of like this. We can wheel into something. Yeah, let's keep on this one. Hopefully we get lucky and hits a few more lands and see what our opponent said. Hey, it's always fun to play against Zacama, so I was going to get that closed out, and our opponent is a friend of the channel, so it's always nice to see that. So let's see what they lead off with Zacama. But yes, welcome to Magic After Dark. Always enjoy getting this show going with Nekusar, so it was a lot of fun. We've been doing this for a long time, me and him. It's going to lead off in Temple of Malice. It's going to get the Scry going, the Scurry, the Fever. Waste not. Let's go ahead and, well, if we're going for a quick Wheel of Fortune, yeah, let's go and put that on top. I think that sounds pretty good. I was going to dig for a land, but we'll keep our fingers crossed that we get the magic gods give us a third land. But let's go and start off with Nekusar himself, the official co-host of Magic After Dark. So at the beginning of each player's draw, so if that player draws an additional card, then whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar deals 1 damage to that player. Playing gets Zacama, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever Zacama enters the battlefield, untap all lands you control if you cast it. Then for a 3-mana activation, let's go and get down Sulphur Falls. Yeah, and kick it back over there. Whenever you cast it, untap all lands you control. Then for a 3-mana activation, red, 3 damage target creature. Green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. White, you gain 3 life. Opponents can get down Azusa. Now, we do have Force of Will in our hands, so if they do get down something kind of oppressive, we might end up going for Force of Will, exiling something like Forbid. But at least it's always kind of nice to have Force of Will in a deck like this. Let's go and get down Waste Not. And then anything else? No, we're going to pass turn our opponent and keep our fingers crossed for some sort of mana crypt or another land to go for that Wheel of Fortune to get some good stuff. I'd hate to wheel away Wheel of Force of Will, but at this point right now, we need to get a little bit more action going in our hand. But we did cover both commanders, so it is free time. Talk about whatever we want. And that's going to be Nekusar. And I will say this, Nekusar, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and show. Yeah, we're going to let that go through because we can use Force of Will to stop whatever creature they get. Now, it is Nekusar, but before I had a channel, I played a lot of Nekusar on Magic Online, and when I'd play with my buddy, I just always called him Nekusar. Like, I don't necessarily have dyslexia, but like for some reason my head just fills in like if I don't sound things out, I just don't take the time to sound it out. So, yeah, I think we want to go Force of Will on this, especially if we're going to go for Wheel of Fortune. Let's go and exile Wheel Deal because we're pretty far away from that. So we'll get rid of Oracle. We'll go and stop that that extra land drops happening. But yeah, once I kind of get something stuck in my head as a way to pronounce it, and especially with something like Nekusar, which has been pronounced that for a very long time, I just kind of roll with it. All right, we do hit the land. Awesome. Let's go to get down Badlands. Let's go and go for Wheel of Fortune. Let's get this, yeah, let's go. That does give them a lot more options in the hand, but this deck is, you want to play pretty fast with this deck and pretty aggressive with your wheels. So let's go and get these triggers on the stack. We're going to end up with a 2/2 zombie. We get to draw a card, which is always nice. And yeah, we end up with 2 zombies on the battlefield. And we draw into Fate Unraveler, which is pretty good. I'll take that. And we got a few more lands, which is pretty good. Anything else? We have Undying Evil. No, let's just go and pass the turn. That was a good way to kind of refuel our hand. And then hopefully, now one thing that we can do, let's see, let's go and get rid of Undying Evil. That Undying Evil is nice, but in a deck like this, we want to stop Zacama. So we do have a couple different options to stop Zacama whenever you enters the battlefield. So we do have Rights of Refusal. We can stop Zacama from coming down. That's going to be one thing that we can do. We also do have Disallow. So let's say that we want to, for some reason, allow Zacama to stick around on the battlefield. We can still use Disallow to kind of stop that enter the battlefield trigger. But either way, we at least have a couple of different answers to stop Zacama from actually entering the battlefield. Now here's the downside: 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you're keeping score at home, that's exactly enough mana to get down Zacama. So we're probably going to be on Rights of Refusal duty for next turn, and that way we can At least kind of get that commander tax going on Zacama, and then we'll keep our fingers crossed that we hit another blue source for disallow. But at least we do have rights of refusal. We have more than enough cards in our hand to discard some cards to rights of refusal to get that kind of that mana leak tax going on that. So we'll see what else they get down, and then Farseek. But yeah, as far as Nekusar goes, if you've never seen this deck before, it's a lot of fun. I will say this, the pilot of Nekusar is going to have a fun time because you're already ready for some wheel effects if you're playing Nekusar, but definitely take into account your play group. I remember the one time I have about two or three paper buddies, and the first time I played Nekusar against my paper buddy, he wasn't salty, but he's like, you got another deck to play? Kind of like, I might just go and head out if you don't have another one. So I quickly learned that it kind of depends on what type of play group you have. And he wasn't being salty at all. And I don't mean that at all, like in a negative way. It was just one of those, it's not everybody's cup of tea, basically. So let me put it that way. So we're going to push in with these zombies. Yeah, we need to be aggressive. This deck wants to be aggressive. So we're going to push in with the 2/2 zombies. They're going to swing in. If they want to block with Wood Elves, they certainly can. Or Azusa. But at least we'll be able to get in for 4. And then knock them down to 24. Anything else? No. Let's go and pass turn to our opponent. So keep our fingers crossed. We will be online for rights of refusal. We can get down Blood Crypt. That will allow us to go for Nekusar. That will be us completely tapping out, which I'm not super wild about. But if we have to do it, we can. And we just need to keep our fingers crossed for another blue source. But yeah, so, as far as Magic After Dark, ooh, Polyraptor. Okay. Yeah, so they don't really have a damage source at this point right now. Well, Zacama. Okay. I feel like we need to go for rights of refusal on this. Because we don't, well, if we get a board wipe, we'll be able to, but we just don't have a board wipe at this point right now. We're just kind of bottleneck on blue mana, especially with that mission briefing. Now, let's say they don't have anything else in the hand. Yeah, I mean, because if they untap with Zacama, let's go for rights of refusal, because if they get down Zacama and untap their lands, they've got 2 cards in their hand. I mean, they have a ton of mana. Awesome. They'll be able to blast up Waste Knot and then Lightning Greaves. And yeah, we can survive that. So let's go and go for Fate Unraveler. And then let's go and discard a Cavern of Souls. So that's going to put them at 6 total mana that they have to pay. Yeah. So rights of refusal for 6. And then we'll just keep our fingers crossed for another blue source for disallow, and that'll allow us to stop Zacama. Yeah, maybe that was their payoff card with getting down Zacama, but once they start doing that, they can end up with a ton of tokens on the battlefield. That's not exactly what we here at Magic After Dark we really want to see. All right, so we draw into Imperial Seal, which is good, but yeah, let's go for it. Let's go and get down Blood Crypt. We're going to shock, pay 2 life. Let's go and go for Nekusar. And the only good thing about Nekusar is we're going to make them... because they untap with their lands, then they have to destroy Lightning Greaves. And then again, it's going to spend, that's going to be 9 mana for them to deal with Nekusar. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Let's go for Nekusar. At least, fingers crossed, we get into a little bit of extra card draw. Who knows? Maybe we do. I was going to get down Lightning Greaves, and normally Nekusar just kind of sits back behind his desk and doesn't swing in, but we're going to get down Lightning Greaves onto Nekusar, and it's time to get a little dirty. I need to roll the Lich King sleeves up and kind of shows Zacama who's boss. Opponent's going to go for Swords of Plowshare. Okay, they got it. So it's going to get rid of Nekusar, and then not going to equip them. I guess we'll go and equip the Lightning Greaves if we wanted to. Let's go and swing it for 4. There we go. Knock them down to 20. And then we're going to put the Lightning Greaves onto one of our zombies. That way they're nice and protected from the incoming zombie that is going to be hitting. So thankfully with our opponent only having 1 card in the hand, Enlightened Tutor. Okay. And then we'll see what this, the other card's Enlightened Tutor. So we'll see what they search up off of this. But as far as Nekusar goes, this Magic After Dark thing. So when I originally built Nekusar, it was just kind of like a... that was the time in my channel where I was just like, hey, I want to make some of these decks feel special when people watch them, because Nekusar has definitely been one of the original 5 that I put out on my my channel. And so, Vance's Blasting Cannons. Exile the top card of your library. Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of make all my decks special. And I've always enjoyed Space Ghost Coast to Coast, kind of like this dysfunctional talk show. And so I wanted to have like this dysfunctional talk show. And I was like, well, we can make Nekusar be the dysfunctional talk show host with me. And so that's kind of what I did. It was just like kind of throwback to Space Ghost Coast to Coast. In fact, if you go check out the playlist and you go all the way down to the bottom, or the one of the first videos, you can see the progress that Nekusar Magic After Dark has made through the years. All right, so we draw into Jace the Mind Sculptor, which we can't get down, unfortunately, because we don't have blue mana. Yeah, let's go and push him for 4. And we're going to go in, we need to get, might go for Gilded Lotus, but that's just going to be a sitting duck for Zacama. So, yeah, we'll probably end up Imperial Sealing for a blue source. That's what we need to do. Let's go for Imperial Seal. Or if we wanted to, we could go for Waste Not. That'd be a really good way to maybe generate a little bit more value, but that's not going to give us any blue mana. And we did get rid of Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think I like going for a blue source on this one because the wheel we do have Winds of Change, and that's going to do nothing to them with Winds of Change. Windfall is going to be about our best bet. Could go for the Locust God, but we're going to be staring down as a comma that they can definitely fight through the Lightning Greaves, those activations, and Geist Blast. Could go for Jace's Archivist, but I'm not. Dark Deal would be. Yeah, I think I just like going for a straight up blue source. I know it's not that exciting, but we need to get something moving. So I was going to grab a Volcanic Island because we have a ton of black blue. So we're going to grab Volcanic Island. There we go. Let's go and put that on top of our library. And then, yeah, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, so I wanted to create like a talk show. And this is what Magic After Dark is, me and Nekusar. I don't know. And when I originally did it, I didn't have the thumbnail for the video. I didn't have it say Magic After Dark. It just said Nekusar. And so that way it was kind of one of those, kind of like a speakeasy commander deck to where, if you watched my videos on the channel, you knew that it was Magic After Dark, but once you clicked on it, you're kind of just thrown into this world. You're like, what is this insanity? And so, yeah, I've always enjoyed it. So if you ever wonder why it's Magic After Dark, it's definitely a throwback to Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Now, somebody did leave a comment talking about a t-shirt with Magic After Dark. And that is something that I'm working on, is getting some sort of, I think there's a website that offers where I can upload designs to it, and then I don't have to do any printing, I don't have to do anything like that, and then that way you can kind of buy t-shirts. So Magic After Dark is definitely one of the t-shirts that I want to start getting, I'm going to make a design for. And if you have any sort of, hey, I would buy this t-shirt, I think you should make a t-shirt with this, hop in the comments below, let me know, because I'm going to get together some some just good base stuff. That way, if some people want to buy some t-shirts, it'll be a good way to kind of support the channel and get a cool t-shirt out of the deal. So it'll be pretty fun. All right, so we do have Zacama enter the battlefield. They do have a few extra activations to go for. Let's go and get down Volcanic Island. And it does have trample, so even if we just straight up just go for Jace, that is not going to do much. We go for Nekusar. It's not going to do much. Now, we do have Mission Briefing that's going to be able to give us a little bit of extra options. Yeah, let's go for Mission Briefing. Because what we can do is we can go for Wheel of Fortune. That's going to give them a fresh grip. But at this point, we just kind of need to get a board wipe. Because if we just sit back and wait for our opponent to go for Zacama activations, I mean, the game is pretty much over if that's our game plan. So we've kind of got to be a little bit of risky with our particular line of play going forward now. Ooh, Damnation. That is exactly what we want to see. Let's go and put the Spellskite into the graveyard. And let's go and put Damnation into the graveyard. Let's go and cast Damnation. I was about to say, we're going to go for Wheel of Fortune to go for Waste Not, but this will be pretty nice. There we go. It's going to go for Damnation. That's going to blow the entire board up. We'll probably see a few more activations from Zacama, probably destroying Waste Not and then Lightning Greaves. But at least we'll get a nice reset. And, if they end up with Zacama on the battlefield, I think they'll have enough mana to recast Zacama for next turn, but if they don't, we'll at least have Disallow to kind of stop some goofy stuff, no funny business from Zacama. So let's go and get this Damnation resolved, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so we got the board cleared, and we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So they did end up, I'm going to speed that part up, but they blew up Lightning Greaves, blew up Waste Not. They went for, I think, 2 or 3 activations of gaining some life. Now, let's say our opponent does get down Zacama. We do have Jace the Mind Sculptor, so what we can do is get down Jace. That's basically going to allow us to just buy us some time. So we go for that -1. We keep bouncing Zacama back to their hand. That does give them a ton of mana, though, if they keep recasting it. It kind of turns into Zacama Storm. But thankfully with that 3 damage, it's just a target creature. So if we can just kind of keep bouncing Zacama back to the hand, well, yeah, because they cast Zacama, they untap with their lands, and they can basically recast it again. So it's not really going to get the desired effect. But if we hit another blue source, we actually need 2 more blue sources. We get down, if we end up going for Jace, and then we get in a position where we can go for Disallow to kind of stop that activated ability. Okay, so we draw to Impulse. But yeah, you know what? I think we're okay with that. Let's just go for Jace. We can go for the straight up Brainstorm if we wanted to. So we go for the -1, we bounce the comma back to their hand, that's going to stop some damage. Or if we go for the Brainstorm, that's going to allow us to get some card advantage going. Yeah, let's be aggressive. Let's go for the 0 ability. They recast the comma, then we'll figure out a way to deal with them next turn. Okay, so we hit Sunken Ruins, which is pretty much what we needed to see. Let's go ahead and put a Drowned Catacomb on top of our library. Let's go put Scalding Tarn on top of our library. Actually, these two. Let's put Sunken Ruins on top of our library. Let's go and get down Scalding Tarn. And that's going to allow us to go for Impulse, kind of dig a little bit deeper. And let's go and do this main phase, just because, you know, if we get some sort of Mana Rock or something, I want to get it down right now. So let's go and grab Underground Sea. Let's go and go for Impulse. We're going to be able to look at a fresh top part of our library, thanks to that fetch land being able to shuffle some stuff away. Gilded Lotus, Jace's Archivist, and then Stealth Suit. Okay. We have to put one of these into our hand, which none of these sound fun. They're pretty much all. I guess we just grab a land, because we tap out for Gilded Lotus, they blow it up with Zacama as soon as we get it down. And the only thing that's really going to be safe from Zacama's bite at this point right now is going to be a land. So let's go and grab Swamp, and we'll put those on the bottom in any order, and then I'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. So at this point right now, let's say they do swing it with Zacama. That's going to be a 9/9 coming across. It's going to be a pretty good chunk of commander damage. But we kind of put our opponent in this weird position to where Jace is at 3 loyalty. So they're going to have to send in Pride Mage at Jace. And then if they want to swing Zacama at us, they certainly can. Uh-oh. Worldly Tutor. So they put something on top of their library, but I don't think they have a way to draw a card at this point right now. So that'll be good. So that kind of forces them to go for Pride Mage on Jace, or they end up going for Zacama on Jace the Mind Sculptor. And that's going to put Aurelia on top of their library. And that'll be an extra combat step. So they get down Chromatic Lantern. All right, so we do know Aurelia is coming down. We know PJ is going to be coming down pretty soon. And let's see how they decide to... Okay, so they are swinging Zacama in at Jace. So that's pretty nice. I'll take that. That puts them next turn swinging in with Zacama, and that's going to buy us just a little bit more. Ooh, Mana Crypt. So we need to see. Let's go and get down Swamp. Okay, so we go for Disallow on Aurelia. It's going to stop Aurelia. We're just in this weird position to where we just can't get down Nekusar. So let's say that we end up getting down Mana Crypt. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to give us just enough for Disallow to stop one activation. They have to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they have more than enough to kind of blast Nekusar. And if we get down Mana Crypt for really no reason, then it's not going to really help us out. And that's going to force the issue with blasting cannons. Well, no, then it can't go for that. Yeah, that's going to be 2 activations. Yeah, if we just get down Nekusar, it's just not going to do anything. But we're also in this weird position to where, you know, not doing anything doesn't really help us at all. Let's do that. Let's go for Nekusar. Let's go and get down Mana Crypt. Yeah, I'm not wild about it, but I mean, we just don't. There's not really anything else for us to do. Let's go ahead and tap out for Nekusar. Okay, we get down Nekusar. That does still gives us Aurelia. We can stop Aurelia with Disallow, and that's going to make them getting... Okay, they end up not going for some activations, but, and that's also one of those, they can get a little bit of extra card draw. At this point right now, the game's not looking good, and we're just doing what's called playing to our outs, and that's maybe getting down Nekusar. Maybe our opponent goes for something else next turn, and we untap with some extra card draw. Because if we just sit here and don't do anything, we're in the same boat of we're going to end up losing pretty quick. So this is kind of... Sometimes a plan is better than no plan, and this is some sort of plan at this point right now. Now let's see what they end up going for. They're going for a Aurelia. We do have the counter spell to that, so that will be nice. That does force them to kind of chew up a little bit more mana to deal with Nekusar at this particular point right now. So we'll see what they get down for the turn. Okay, we got Aurelia coming down. Yeah, we need to deal with that because extra combat steps is not something that we really want to get going. So we're going to go for Disallow. Let's get rid of the last card in our hand. Let's put them down to one card in our hand. And we are completely open to Zacama spitting some Mario fireballs over at Nekusar. So if you want to get a funny mental image, imagine us on the stage of Magic After Dark and Zacama is, for some reason, really mad about something and spitting some fireballs over at Nekusar. Now, our opponent did go for Warstorm Surge, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That does put them out of the range of going for complete damage on Nekusar, so that at least allow us to get a little bit of extra action for next turn. We're looking at 2 card draw, so let's see what we can get into. So we have the Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. And if you pray to the magic gods, now would be a time to pray to the magic gods to see if we can get something good. All right, Cryptic Command. Okay. And we do have the blue mana for it. That's going to allow... Okay, that's not bad. We get to draw to Grim Tutor, which we can actually go for both. Okay. So let's do this. We go for Grim Tutor. We're going to lose 3 life, puts us down to 4. And if we lose on a Mana Crypt trigger, it puts us down to 1. 1, 2, 3 for Grim Tutor. 4 for Cryptic. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Let's go for Grim Tutor. That's going to put us down pretty low, but... and we need to make sure that we leave... we do not want to tap down that at all. Want to make sure that we have more than enough blue mana for this Cryptic Command. All right, so I'm glad we hit something off of that. So we have 1, 2... 3 blue, 1. All right, there we go. Just want to make sure. Let's go for Grim Tutor. I'm not sure what we're trying to grab at this point right now, but the longer we just sit back and don't do any... Memory Jar would be a good option. I think that's going to be the best, because really when you're playing Nekusar, you want to get as much cards as quickly as possible. And I think at this point right now, Memory Jar is going to be our best option for that. So I was going to grab Memory Jar. It's going to go into our hand. We could go for a Memory Jar. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to cut us off Cryptic Command. And so we definitely need Cryptic Command to tap down our opponent's creatures. We can either draw a card with Cryptic Command, or we can bounce back Warstorm Surge, which we might end up doing that. So we might end up bouncing Warstorm Surge and then tapping down our opponent's creatures. And the opponent's going to reveal a Gruul Signet off of the that one. So let's go and get that popped up. Let's go and get these Nekusar triggers going, and then we'll figure out what we need to do as far as Cryptic Command goes. And that does, with that card draw, does put them down to 18. So, yeah, I think at this point, because if we end up losing the Mana Crypt trigger, which I hate that to happen, I don't want that to happen at all. So we'll probably end up going for, if they get a creature down, we'll go for Cryptic Command, bouncing Warstorm Surge back to our opponent's hand. This is definitely one of those cards that is just so much fun. I love Pandemonium. I love effects that just dump a ton of creatures on the battlefield. And we might still end up seeing Aggravated Assault, K. Untap all creatures you control. Even if we go for... Yeah, they have the mana to activate that, so it's almost like we need to... yeah, we also need to counter that. Let's do this. Let's go for counter target spell. If they have a creature to dump on the battlefield, they've got it. Let's go counter target spell, and then tap all creatures your opponents control. Yeah, I like that. Because even if we tap them down and bounce Warstorm Surge, they can still go for that activation. Yeah, they can still go for that. So let's go for Cryptic Command, counter target spell, and then tap all creatures our opponents control. It's going to tap down Zacama, and hopefully we can put Zacama back into the green room. I'll be able to go for Memory Jar next turn. We need Nekusar to stick around on the battlefield, and they've got more than enough mana to blast Nekusar, so we'll see what we can get going. But maybe they let Nekusar stick around. Either way, once we still end up going for Memory Jar, it's nice to have Nekusar on the battlefield, but choose tail. Oh, lost the flip. We're going to be down to 1. And then we draw an additional card, and we draw into Reef. Okay, let's go and get down Memory Jar. Yeah, we need to tap. We actually need to be a little bit careful tapping our mana down with this. So let's tap the mana down first. Okay, so we're going to get down Memory Jar. So we end up going for Memory Jar. Each opponent has to discard. Yeah, so with Memory Jar, we sacrifice it, we get to draw a bunch of cards, and at the beginning of the next end step, each player discards their card. So let's go ahead and get down Liliana's Caress. Let's go black and then Badlands. That way, maybe we can get some triggers on the stack somehow. At some point, we're probably going to see Zacama activation. So let's go and go for Memory Jar. And we'll probably see this happen now. But if we're trying to set up a win, this is what we're trying to do. We got to leave Nekusar and anticipate that. So opponent's going to go for destroy target enchantment. Okay. So that will definitely be a way that we can get rid of the... Okay, so we get these activations going. Oh, and we don't really hit much what we need to see. Let's go and always yield to that. And it's going to put them down to 11. We can go for Dak Fade and gain control of target artifact, which doesn't really help us too much at this point right now. We can swing in for 2. Obnixilis gives us something to do, but we unfortunately don't have the mana to go for Obnixilis. Get down Boots, they can take advantage of that. I guess we go for Dak Faden. Yeah, it's not going to do much at this point right now, but at least we can go for the +1. I don't know what we can do at 1 mana, but we'll go for a Dak Faden activation and then tell our opponent good game. So we're going to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. There we go, Raider's Wake and Arcane Denial. Okay, so we're just going to get rid of Center of the Sea and get rid of Cascade Bluffs. Nothing we can do for 1. And then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're going to get in for 2 damage at this point right now, just to kind of send a message. But definitely a good game to our opponent. That was a lot of back and forth. And this is pretty much what you want to see in a Commander game. You want to get some good... you got a Wheel Effect deck versus a big Zacama deck. You've got Warstorm Surge. Opponents can be able to attack on multiple fronts. So... good game to our opponent. Oh, and then I even forgot about that. Let's say that we do somehow get Liliana's Caress to stick on the battlefield. Then we can, they're still going to be able to go for that. So, all right, opponent's going to take care of Nekusar. It's going to send them back to the command zone and go for that Memory Jar. But good game to our opponent. Definitely enjoyed it. Okay, and we have no more cards in the hand, and Zacama is going to be victorious. So unfortunately, our set was not big enough to accommodate Zacama, and Zacama got really angry at that. So, but like I mentioned, this is pretty much I've played against Zacama before with the Zacama Storm deck, and that's fun, but it's not. It's just kind of one-sided. So to see just basically a Naya ramp deck. Oh, we're gonna have Goreclaw be the final swing, the Bear Claw swing. I like that. I'll take that. That's a really nice flavor win. Nice. I love we got a Goreclaw swipe to deal the damage, so they're gonna deal that Warstorm Surge damage up top, and good game to our opponent. Well played by our opponent. There's a couple times that they could have not been super aggressive with some of their stuff, but yeah, they got it. So we got Pride Mage swinging in for 3. That's going to put us down to -2, and that will be the end of Magic After Dark. So if you enjoyed your time in the audience tonight, it's always nice whenever we get to kick our own guest off of the show. But unfortunately, Zacama ate part of our set. It was more than enough for me and Nekusar to kind of hold down the Magic After Dark set. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.